We are bringing. Hold on. Let me start that over.
What the fuck was that?
Has that ever happened?
I know. No.
Performance anxiety.
We are bringing Kato's Wonka in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 251 of the Garney Hub podcast, where we talk about Destiny, and we had to redo our intro. Who knows if Sin will keep that in there or not, but how are we all doing tonight? We got Sin, we got Kato, and we got Rodimus on a Sunday.
Yay.
On a Sunday
Sunday evening. Let's go.
Let's go. One of our
evening.
Yes, very much so. Evening.
One of our original kind of recording times. What did we do? We'd have done Sundays and Thursdays. Have we ever done other days, Sin, in the past?
We might have done an alternate day for a guest or so.
Sure.
But we hadn't started doing, I think it was like the first 2 years we were doing Sunday nights.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and I think it was mostly my fault. Like, Sundays weren't always good for me because the wife wanted to do stuff. And then Thursday was just the next best day. And then it also kind of made it, I think the idea was, I know you're always busy, Sin, no shame, but like the idea was we'll record right after TWID and hopefully get it out fairly soon. I think with the Sunday ones, we were getting them out so late that like a whole nother, like almost TWID had come out or something. So
is that a problem?
Yeah, it's okay.
And this week, my hectic work schedule, we're recording on Sunday anyway.
Yes. And shout out to Rodimus. I know you edit your lovely podcast, what are you guys up to now? Episode 4?
He left. He's not even here.
Oh, Rodimus.
The answer is 5 for them.
5. Yep. Everyone who hasn't checked that out, please check out Dudes Playing Stuff.
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened with Discord, but Discord decided, like, nope, I don't want you in here anymore.
Yeah, I didn't even
We
notice
are on
that.
episode 5.
Yeah, episode 5. And you edit that lovely podcast still?
I sure do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you hate it? Are you already regretting editing?
No,
Or is
I
it
just
getting
take Sin's route. I just do a couple things and send it on its way.
Smack it
That's
on the
the
butt and ship it.
Give it a little spanking.
Perfectly fine.
The
Yep.
last episode, I did a couple of other things. I kind of tried to adjust everyone's level to be the same.
Nice.
That's why you run compression, normalization, and if you're Kato, you maybe amplify that track a little bit for Kato, and then you ship it.
Kato has been on a new mic setup for a while here, Sin.
I know it's his luscious tones look more magical that way.
Look or sound?
Yes. Like I
Oh,
look
yeah.
at him as
Oh.
sound waves when I'm editing. And he has a little bit bigger sound waves, put it to you
get
that
turned
way.
on by those bigger bumps that you see from him now.
Hey, it makes it easier to edit.
That's fair, I suppose.
As you're imagining him shirtless.
I can go back to the old way.
Or not.
Oh, man. I feel like we have follow-up talk with Doritos, the conversation that's going
We
for a
do.
while. Yes.
Absolutely, we do, because I've tried the sweet and tangy, and I actually love them.
Oh, dude, those are so good. But the Jumpin' Jack Cheddar, so good too.
I've not found that one yet.
I have not found it either, although I haven't been back to the one store I likely have it. So you tried those recently?
The Jumpin' Jack Cheddar? I found them like 6 months ago.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen them since, but you know.
One thing that I read online is that they weren't as strong as some of the other flavors. But you like them?
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Okay.
It's not like they're my favorite, but they are good.
Because come to think of it now, I think that was one of the reasons why I never liked the Cool Ranch ones, is because they just didn't have much of a flavor to me.
Cool Ranch has a little flavor.
A little.
Senior bitch.
It's
But-
not what they used to be though. It's died down a little bit.
Yeah, and okay, has anyone else here tried the sweet and tangy barbecue ones?
Yes.
What do you think?
They're okay.
Oh, those are my favorite right now.
Yeah,
and
I
haven't
love
tried
them right now.
They're all right.
I just feel
Yeah, they're okay.
Hmm,
And I'm not a big fan of barbecue chips in the first place. There's that.
well, me too, but for my palate, it seems to work better with the corn chip versus a potato chip. So for some
Yeah.
reason, they work well for me. Well, that's your Dorito talk of the week. I know I'm going to be looking for some Jumpin' Jack just to try them out. And there's the Tapatios. I've seen those, Rodimus, but I haven't ever gotten them.
I just think to me they're probably too hot for me because I'm not a big spice guy. So
Yeah. Right on. And also, last week we had Dice on the podcast, but also I want to follow up. I met Bell in person because that happened after the podcast was recorded. Super cool dude in person. About exactly, he is what you hear online, right? I mean, a lot of us are when we get to know each other over time and our voices, our inflections, everything like that. But Bell is super cool in person. Went out to eat with him and my wife. We went to a good pizza place in the area and just had fun. And then I always appreciate his tequila recommendations also because he does bartending on the side. He's done that and I believe continues to do it, but he definitely knows his stuff with tequila. And he helped me find some things at the liquor store recently. And so big shout outs to him on that. And thanks for coming out to Utah, Bell. Also. Yep. And then also met Gage, which is Killerberry in the Discord. And yeah, so all in all, pretty cool.
yeah, it sounds like Bill had a good time talking to
Yeah.
him about it. So
Yeah, for sure. I know I wish I could have hung out a little bit more, but it was fun. And then what games have we been playing besides Destiny? And then we'll get into Destiny talk and we will talk about some pretty cool news in the TWID this week. But yeah, let's first talk about any other games.
I've got nothing.
Nothing.
I've been playing Helldivers. It's all about the freedom. So
I heard it's a really good game.
Starship
is-
Troopers, the game.
it is definitely fun to play because you can kill your teammates.
Wow. I'm
Friendly fire is active.
close to considering that game. I just, for some reason, got into Tiny Tina's, which I'll talk about in a second. But I feel like I probably should check out Helldivers because it's not a horrible price and a lot of people are playing it.
From
Is
what
it
I understand,
quality, though?
that the quality's there. There's so much going on. From what I understand, I haven't really deep dove into it, but the developers actually play the game on the other side of the game. So they determine what you're going to be doing on what planet for the day or week or
They have
whatever.
a game master.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
And how would you describe it just real quick? Is it like an action?
it's a third person, just pretty much shooting, running, blowing stuff up, nuking
Base-
things.
style, or like is there robotic and like cool weapons, or is it just like old school weapons, or what's it like?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
You have to level up you have to earn weapons. You get very basic to start and earn goals to upgrade your weapon. So get currency, upgrade your like it's called stratagems. You bring down the world around you, whether it's a sentry gun or a nuclear strike, or if it's a support weapon. And so you gotta kind of level up.
Right on. And what else do we know about the game?
Oh my god.
Is there like a campaign and then just things to do together with people? And is there going to be like more added? Do they have a roadmap or anything?
Well, I think they're coming some stuff coming out with it but you pretty much you're on Super Earth and either going against the bugs and their planets, or you'll go against the machines and the other side of the world. So you determine what you're going to go for.
Right on. Anything besides Destiny for you, Kato?
No. I kind of take a break from games, watching shows, kind of hanging out.
Yeah, we were talking about a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. I was kind of feeling that earlier from the last week we recorded, and then a few days in is when I just dropped buying Tiny Tina's.
Right.
Yep. So I don't know if it's still on sale, but it was on sale. The game went down to $15, and you can get the expansion, the year pass, for $7 on top of that.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So I knew I would like this game. I love all the Borderlands games, and this is by the same developer, and it's basically the same style, except they just focus around this one character, Tiny Tina, which is in the Borderlands games also. But what's happening is she is organizing a D&D tournament in this video game world, and you are the player that she's controlling. And so you see her like a voiceover. She's like this big character in cutscenes, but you're like a player on the board. And you just go through just doing normal Borderlands stuff. Now it's very D&D light, but you can spec into certain characters. There's about 6 different classes to pick from, and you do all the normal stats, and you can pick some of your stats at the beginning, level them up more down the road, and you can have spells and actions. And but there are guns, which is why I love this. True to Borderlands fashion, they had to include guns. It's not just actions and spells otherwise, but they have a lot of humor in it, like regular Borderlands games. There's a point a third of the way in the game where you finish this quest, and there's like this little mini fight happening, and they kind of go with the trope, which, by the way, Rodimus was mentioning on one of the recent episodes of DPS, the top 10 most annoying, what was it, D&D things that can happen?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, one of them in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was the group was going to split up. And she's like,
no.
Is this going to happen already? Because like one set of people wanted to do something and they didn't agree with the other set of people. And it was like that normal trope. And it was like some big dramatic thing. But then we decided to come together after all. So I thought it was kind of funny.
It sounds like it's a fun game. I got too much going on right now between this and trying to get back into Skull and Bones, and
Oh, for sure. We all do.
then like Guardian games are starting up next week, and I got to go get my hoverboard. So there's a lot going on in the next couple of
Oh,
weeks.
hoverboards.
Sin
We'll
for
wait to
Tim.
talk about that.
Well, let's get into it. I mean, yeah, we're done with this. I know I'm excited too. I'm going to be out of town on vacation next week, so I'm going to miss out on this. I might bring my laptop, but I don't know. But
To
yeah.
be fair, the only thing you're missing out on is the first week,
Oh,
first
of
couple
course.
of days. I mean,
But I think this is a big change. It's kind of surprising. It kind of makes me wonder too. We've kind of been told or assumed that some of these seasonal events are like different teams that work on them versus like the main expansion team for Destiny. And that kind of makes sense
Right.
because why are they coming out with hoverboards now? I feel like that would have made better sense. It's like this big deal, cool thing if Final Shape was on track for being released February 27th. So maybe the team that was doing Guardian games had this plan to come out with a cool new thing. And even though Final Shape got delayed, we're getting this cool thing earlier than they were hoping it would be in Final Shape. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But yeah, this is cool. So let's get into this. I'll pull up the TWID here.
I don't know if it was like what it was actually intended for release. Like if it was going to be a Final Shape thing, or if it was something they were initially going to switch, or they split Final Shape into Lightfall, right?
Mhm.
And you have Nimbus on his hoverboard. So is it something that was initially supposed to come out, and then they split the two expansions and had to find somewhere to put it?
That's a good point too, because yeah, the whole talk about how that probably got split up.
Right.
Well, anyways, March 5th, big update along with all the PvP stuff we've been talking about and sandbox changes. Guardian Games will be arriving this Tuesday. Who knows when the podcast will come out, but March 5th. And they're calling it Guardian Games All-Stars. I mean, basically, it's the three classes competing against each other. But they first want to talk about introducing the skimmer. Okay, that's what's I mean, we're all calling it the hoverboard. Who knows if we'll call it the skimmer. But a totally brand new exotic vehicle. And
Stuck.
skimmers. What?
Nothing.
Okay. Skimmers will live in the same slot as your sparrows and can be used to do tricks, grind rails, or just stylishly skim around looking incredibly cool. Okay, so this tells us lots of info, but it's still not enough, right? Tricks, I assume that can just be done normal speeding around, kind of like the main tricks we have right now in sparrows are like the hand gestures, I consider. I mean, yeah, you have the little pushy movements to the side, but tricks.
You can also do kicks and stuff too on your sparrow.
Well, that's true. That's true. Gosh, I remember doing that more so back when we had sparrow racing. I always forget about that now. But grind rails.
Yeah. Strand
Yeah.
rails.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because like, are they adding in some stuff but people want to know, like, can we like do tricks on all sorts of geometry? I mean, I guess they're gonna act like a sparrow. Like sparrows can go up rocks too. So
I mean, I don't know. I'm excited for it.
the picture they show is one of the skimmers is definitely flipping around, and the Guardian's upside down in this picture. You know, holding on with one hand and his feet's on it, and looks pretty cool. We got Tony Hawk Sin gonna be skimming around.
Oh yeah.
Skate 5.
What was it? The Tony Hawk games, 99 Red Balloons was one of the songs in there. Like the early Tony Hawk games.
Yeah, it's been years.
Yeah, they should put 99 Red Balloons in there as like a little fun Easter egg.
All right.
But I can dream.
And maybe they should build a ramp somewhere too, where we can just
Or build a bear.
A half pipe.
half pipe. Yes. All right. The new skimmer is called the All-Star Vector and will be available for everyone to earn. Just pick it up from Eva Levante after completing the onboarding quest, so we will get it right away. If you want to keep it permanently after the event finishes, spoiler alert, you do. Okay, come on. That's just silly how they said it like that. Oh, but you do have to complete the drop-in quest. And
Yeah, you got to complete the quest.
But is the drop-in quest just the first easy one, right? You talked to Eva Levante.
I would assume.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm sure there's going to be more of these in the future because they are also already telling us another skimmer, this one inspired by a beloved Destiny weapon, will be available in the in-game Eververse as well. Whichever style of skimmer you prefer, you'll be able to start grinding those space rails next week.
I'm curious what it'll be.
Yeah. And since this is such a new thing, I think they'll have a pretty good adoption on people spending the money, getting it right away. All right. So back to Guardian Games, the actual games. I mean, yeah, this is cool. We'll talk more about the skimmer. I'm interested to see what everyone thinks about it. As we start Guardian Games, we'll get our class item, blah, blah, blah. This is how you'll earn your first medallion to unlock the quests and also unlock the challenges from the event card. The goal, pretty much like before, your class must win the majority of days during the 3-week-long event. And that can only be done by depositing all the medallions. Eva Levante will have a variety of cards to choose from. This is pretty normal between the gold, platinum, and diamond, although diamond is new this year. Diamond medallions awarded by these are worth a lot and can change the course of the day. So they're limited to 3 a week. 2 of them are focused on end game activities,
Okay.
PvE, and 1 for PvP. And the third is kind of unique. It's a Twitch drop from watching a Destiny 2 stream for 2 hours during the week. Okay, what do we feel about that?
Lame. I don't want to watch somebody play the game. I want to play the game.
I just
Yeah.
put on Twitch and just walk away.
Well,
Exactly.
That's not the point. That is not the
You're-
point.
You're a gamer. Gamify it.
That's
I
not the
understand.
point.
Practically, yes, it'll be easy, but theoretically, in my mind, I think it's lame also. It's like
No doubt. I get it.
it's such a big deal. It's like these are like the highest level ones. It should be like the gold level one or something. I mean, they're really, I get it. They're trying to support the streamers and everything. I'm not like really upset by it, but it's like you certainly don't have to try very hard for that
I
one.
mean, I'm not super upset by it, but I just find it kind of dumb. Like, we all know people that stream, and we go support those people because we play with those people. I'm not really for going to watch somebody stream for 2 hours that I don't personally know. I mean,
Yeah,
That's fair. So what you're saying is one of us should pop open a stream just so you can earn it.
sure.
I mean, Sin, if you're allowed to have your phone on just in the background at work, you could even earn points that way, even by not having time to play the game.
Yeah, I mean, I can turn the brightness down and just set it on top of my computer somewhere plugged in and just say, there you go.
Go.
One way to do it.
I don't know. Ask me again when it's done. I see benefits to this. It's just so funny, like them classifying it next to the other 2 endgame things. You got endgame,
Yeah.
PvE, and PvP. Oh, and watching someone stream.
Yeah.
All right. Medallions for the tower will be counted daily, and the crest of the daily winning class will be inserted into the tower podium for everyone to keep track of their standings. Oh, yeah, here's what's interesting. In the past games, we measured class performance based on total medallion score. Population imbalance has always been a hot issue with this scoring method, and we've always tried to weigh them, in the spirit of fairness. This year, we're taking a different approach. Each day, class scores will be measured by the average medallion score of all players who've deposited a medallion that day, separated by a class, of course. Our hope here is that this will make your contributions feel more meaningful, that the overall competition is less dependent on hard-to-understand population weighing or catch-up mechanics. Well, to me, it's still a little bit hard to understand because they're saying the average. Is anyone understanding that better than me? That makes it seem like, in first glance, like even if you're doing a harder activity, it doesn't matter because they're just kind of averaging everything together. Or am I mistaken on that?
I don't think it necessarily means that.
Okay. Average medallion score of all players who've deposited a medallion that day. But separated by class, of course. But because medallion scores, the score has to mean the different difficulties, right?
No. It's just how many is deposited total. It's not necessarily the different types of medallions.
Mm-hmm.
The different types are just worth more points, depending on what it
Yeah.
is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't care too much. I mean, if anyone has any comments on that, let us know. But that will be a thing. Okay.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a thing.
Anyways, and then depending on your contributions, you'll also earn glows and bragging rights that come to them. There's some interesting things here. We have 5 in total. 1 for being the best in tower guardian. Is that new? Or did they have that previously?
I think that's new.
Yeah.
Not sure.
So that one seems kind of cool. Another for being a member of the winning class of the day. A shoulder glow linked to your weekly performance in the Nightfall playlist.
Oh, they're doing all that again?
Yeah, that's not new. A second shoulder glow for your weekly performance in Supremacy and Gambit. And a bronze, silver, or gold glow with the shape of the laurel crown in the Friday coronation ceremony. Anyways, at the end of the event, the class that wins the most days, so each day will be counted on the thing, will be crowned winner, and their class item will change to gold until the next event to remind everyone of their victory. Not only that, but for the whole year, members of the winning class can also trigger some fancy fireworks in the tower if they interact with the Guardian Games All-Star statue. So only that class
That's
can.
neat, I guess. Is that
And then, yeah. I mean,
okay?
if you have all three classes, if you really want to do the fireworks, just switch to that. But yeah.
Well, I was just thinking, like, does that include like people that didn't even participate in Guardian Games? Like, I feel like that should be a good thing.
I'm
You didn't do
pretty sure-
anything.
yeah, right. I'm pretty sure though, just for ease, it's going to be everyone in that
yeah.
class, even if you didn't participate.
I'm sure.
Rodimus, you certainly did, because when you were hitting Destiny hard, you did Guardian Games last year, right?
I did a
Okay.
lot of it last year.
Are you somewhat excited for this one coming up?
It's something different. I mean, I probably won't grind as much as I did last year because I got the title. For me, it was all about trying to get the seasonal titles and stuff last
Yeah.
year when I was playing. This year, my time to play is a little bit less than it normally is. But I'm definitely going to go for the hoverboard and a couple different just to goof around. But there's still like some 90 some odd days left of the season, so I really haven't
Yes.
got like jumped on and like grinded the weekly challenges, and I'm a little behind on those, but I'll get to that point eventually.
Yeah, and it kind of makes me wonder if they could have or should have made Guardian Games a little bit longer. Although it makes sense that they didn't, because they probably have it all coded in the game. You know, those days on the medallions. If they were to make it longer, they would have had to recode all that. But
Well,
you got 3 weeks.
I'm trying to think, when did this season start?
Do we ever remember?
Well,
November or December? End of November, right?
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
So didn't look it up.
I mean, we were
Busy.
supposed to get the new content on
February.
end of
27th.
February.
Yeah, November
And
28th
what?
is when it
So
started.
that's about a 3-month rough season. That's
Yeah.
how they were running. 4 seasons a year, 3 months. So that would have put us at November timeframe.
Mm-hmm. 28th.
Okay.
So we got 3 months or 3 weeks for Guardian Games, which will pretty much last us through most-ish of March. Then in April we'll have Into the Light. We're not sure if that'll come the beginning of April or not, but let's just say that. Let's hope for that.
I think it is the beginning of April, but I don't honestly remember. Maybe it's the end of April.
Yeah, they did say April, but I don't know. And then hopefully beginning of April, but then I don't know how involved that'll be. And then again, May, who knows? Now, either way, in April, we'll be getting a lot of hype for more info coming out on Final Shape.
Yeah.
So April could be good. May could be, who knows? And then March, it's not going to be horrible. I mean, again, Guardian Games and Skimmers. So, and then, of course, all the PvP Crucible stuff. So we'll be waiting with bated breath. Me, not so much, but I will be interested. I do want it to be better for everyone who likes Crucible, even though I don't like it. Yeah, it's not like I don't want it to be better, but I'm skeptical. Everyone's saying Crucible 2.0, this will fix everything. Sure, we've been told this before.
It'll definitely be interesting because I know there's been talks in the community about it, but realistically, when it comes to PvP, there hasn't been any major changes like this to shift anything. Like, this is shifting time to kill, survivability. It's a whole gameplay.
There has at some point. I feel at least Forsaken. Maybe it's been that long ago, but there's been things. But yeah, nothing recently.
Most of the time, the only change in Crucible meta is just weapons.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very often that it's a whole health rework. Like, that's what this is a whole rework.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a change that's needed because, well, you're giving the Guardians more health.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge thing. That's going to slow gameplay down. It's going to give newer players a chance to actually react in a gunfight instead of being two tapped by something from somebody that's good at the game.
Yep. And then with the more playlists, ones that I guess people have been asking for, like even more gunplay, less abilities.
New mode.
Sure. That's good. That's good. It might separate even more, like the people that barely like Crucible, are the types like me that prefer games like sixes or full abilities or stuff like that. And so the people that really like it are probably going to be like more just wanting to be in those playlists, and the rest of us not so much. But I do think it's good that they are doing that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm hopeful, honestly.
Yeah. So Gambit next, they're fixing.
They hit the delete button on that.
Yeah, I honestly feel like they should.
I mean, I'll give it Crucible a shot after the changes to see if it's any better, but
Well, it'll
it's
be
not like
interesting.
something for me that I'm not really gonna say yes or no. I enjoy playing with people I play with, but will I go in there by myself? Who knows?
Yeah, and when you go into Crucible, Rodimus, has it typically been like Iron Banner or sixes, or have you done much comp or threes?
It's been Iron Banner. Sometimes if I'm feeling froggy or if I want to go grind, I'll go do trials for the weekend, but very rarely do I do trials. So
yeah. Well, that's cool. But yeah, March 5th, lots going on with that. Okay. Let's see. We don't have to go through all these line by line, but I'm just seeing. With Guardian Games, I feel like there was one other newish thing. There's going to be weekly quests.
There's a new gun.
New gun. Okay, yeah. Hold on.
It's a new heavy wave frame grenade launcher.
Yes.
That'll be.
We don't know the
something.
name of it yet, right?
It maybe says it. Not sure.
Yeah, they talk about two previous weapons, the Terraxipos, which is the scout, will drop with new perks like Slice or Precision Instrument.
Yeah.
And then the title, of course, the Void SMG has new perks, but also allows for a very exciting combo if you like Void builds, Repulsor Brace, and Surrounded. I could see this being fairly good for PvE.
Well, it gives your PvE players a chance to get one. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you played Iron Banner, there was a role of Hero's Burden that I don't remember what the roles were exactly, but it was something very similar. It was Repulsor Brace and some damage perk. I don't remember. I have it.
And then what's this? They show a picture of a fusion. Or are they just showing what the memento looks like on it?
I would assume just what the memento looks like.
Yeah, because I was wondering too when I first skimmed through this, like, is there also a fusion that they're?
Oh, you talking about the shader, or with the memento? It's not a fusion. I think that's a pulse.
Oh, that's a pulse.
Pretty sure.
Okay, my bad. I just thought pulses were usually a little bit longer and didn't have like that. That looks like a three exit thing, like bursts coming out like at the end.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like 3 chambers. I don't know either. I do admit I'm not the best knowing, like just looking at a gun, being like, oh, that's that. I mean, some are obvious, like obviously the grenade launcher, but I just figured pulses generally have a little bit tighter of an ending. This seems like a really big like opening at like 3 different parts at the end. Only reason why I said that. There'll be focus activities. The champ title will be available again.
Yep.
Event tickets will be available again, of course. And then Guardian Games Cup. For the 3rd year in a row, we're celebrating Guardian Games Cup. So, all the streaming stuff and whatever. But has anyone seen the emblem? So, do you see that emblem in the TWID?
I haven't even pulled it up yet, so no.
Okay, let me try to put this in our chat. if you can't do that. I think this is pretty cool looking. It's kind of like this faded style.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Uploading right now, Sin. Let us know what you think.
Oh no, I actually did read it. I'm sorry. I forgot I actually pulled it up. I do remember seeing that during work.
So I might donate $10 for that.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Yep.
All right, not bad.
I do kind of like after that in
Look
this
at this real
week's
quick.
TWID. Let me know if there's anything else, but they're
Yeah, that's a pulse.
all right.
That's the craftable pulse from this season.
A lot of the pulses that I have of my character are longer and skinnier at the end than that one.
I bet they are.
Go look at it.
Oh, here we go. So many comments.
Go look at it.
Like I'm thinking like what a disparity or something. Yeah, I'll look at this one.
Sure, it's the same frame as Cold Denial.
And I'll see if I can find a fusion that looks similar to this with how short this is.
All you got to do is look at where the magazine is on it.
Yeah.
Hey, you were talking about that pulse the other day. It's the same one.
I was talking about this pulse.
Yeah,
Silly me.
it's the arc one from this season. I think it was you, anyways. Fuck, I don't know.
All right. Oh yes, and PlayStation Plus, we get Witch Queen this month for March.
Yep.
So, if you've already been playing on PlayStation forever, you probably already own Witch Queen. But if PlayStation's like a side console for you, or for whatever reason you don't have it, be sure to log in for the month of March and claim this.
It's always nice.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I'm looking at like disparity. This just has a single cone at the end. Yeah, what's this? What's what this seasonal's one called? I forget. I probably got rid of it.
It's the name is right there, and I cannot for the life of me think of it.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell you.
it's all good. Then you don't know the name, do you?
Nope.
Live update. Are you doing anything in the game, or have you checked out this week's Eververse?
I haven't checked out the Eververse yet, and I'm actually playing a prophecy with Kato right now. He was I saw him I saw the messages come across my phone earlier in Discord about him wanting to do it. And you had jumped out of chat. I was like, prophecy? He said, yep.
Yeah, so for speaking of things we've done, yeah. I've done a prophecy. Kato's probably done this would be at least your second. Have you done any others?
It's like the sixth one today.
Yeah, there you go. Have you gotten what you want?
No, I have not.
What exactly are you looking for?
I want the sidearm.
You're so salty right now, I bet.
I really am. I've gotten a few of them, but they're all just garbage rolls.
Hopefully Kato protects me. I'm going to the Eververse now.
Oh my god.
Pink shader, disc jockey. I actually don't have that emote.
Boss, this dude.
Monte Carlo ornament.
Yeah. This guy.
What, middle of the boss fight?
Yes.
You want to go? I know. Aim to please.
Was there actually anything good in the store this week?
Not that I could see. Pink shader, if you're into pink, maybe.
I think I had all the shaders this week already.
I mean, the only thing I would consider getting is that disc jockey emote because I've seen a lot of people use it and I don't have it. Monte Carlo ornament is kind of meh. Not necessarily a fan of that, but whatever.
It's a good one. What are you talking about?
It's
all
okay.
right.
Are we talking about adhorative? Is that the pulse? I'm still looking this up too while we're going.
No, I don't. Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just looking at most of these pulses, and they don't have a weird ending like the one in this TWID does. So,
Cold Denial is one of them.
Cold Denial.
Season
is
of
it-
Arrivals.
Is it a primary or a special?
This season is Energy.
Okay, the energy. Let's go to. I'm sure this is so exciting for
All the listeners.
pulses don't have energy. Pulses are always primary, right?
Primary ammo,
Yeah,
energy
but-
slot.
Oh yeah, well. Okay, and what's it called again?
Okay. Hold on. Just
Did you say you were looking for a sidearm?
fuck you.
Definitely not.
I
Well, he
did
is
get it.
in the
I got
dungeon.
the dark. I got the darkest before. I got the
That's a
false.
pulse rifle.
I know. I just wanted to see your reaction, knowing my
Scalar potential.
smart remarks.
Scalar potential.
What else do we have going on? We did a Saturday night Crota last night.
Very nice.
We
I
did.
missed out.
We were also trying to do some Witch Queen triumphs, and that's just irritating because I think it's bugged.
Oh my god! Thanks for bringing that up.
I just think it's
Mhm.
operator error.
No. I was looking into it.
Okay, well, let's talk about this more. Sin, do you remember we were trying for that? You never got your gumshoe either, did you? Right? Which
Let me
wind
look.
tunnel?
I don't. Yes.
I remember going around with you. We were trying to get some of those timed, tier 3 or whatever. Forgive me if I have the wrong term, but some of those deep sight things, and we were having a hard time finding them. And we could have tried harder for sure, but we just gave up because it was getting annoying. Do you remember that at all?
Hold on. Wish Bear. Wrath Bear. Where is it?
What's
Where
this
is it?
guy doing?
Gosh, it's called Gumshoe. It's the Witch Queen title. So if you just go to your titles, but Rodimus has it, and he thinks we're all plebs because we're having a hard time finishing this up.
No, I have my gumshoe title.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, plebs.
Well, Kato and I were in my asthma. Yeah, I'm calling it that because I'm pissed off now. For like several hours last night.
Yeah. It's timed deep sight puzzles, and we were doing them, and they weren't counting.
I remember them being a pain in the rear end to get, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not only that, if you're missing the champion kills, like I am, because I don't farm lost sectors, Wish Queen is not one of the places for legendary or master lost sectors, and the lost sectors don't have champions in them. So it's annoying.
Yeah, it's one of those things where sometimes titles are harder to do if you don't do them when they're like the main thing.
Yep.
You even had a little bit of problems with doing I know you and Ramos when you were going for the Dreaming City
Oh
stuff.
yeah, Dream City.
I don't
That was
remember ever having a
bullshit.
problem. I don't remember having a problem there. Like when we ran them, because I was super into Forsaken when that came out. So we hit the Lost Sector, the Senate challenges right when they're out every week, and they all seem to count.
What it amounts to is somebody discovers a bug or an exploit, so people exploit it as intended, because why not? And it gives them, loot of some kind. Same way with the Dreaming City. Like there was something with that particular Ascendant challenge that people were exploiting. So then they patched it, but when they patched it, they also kind of soft locked it in a way.
Yeah. And speaking of, this is one of several reasons why I'm not defending Bungie about like taking things away and doing content vault, but it makes sense in some aspects. Like just having stuff in the game does cause headaches because when you patch certain things, but if you're keeping the old stuff in the game and you still want titles to be available, people need to have a way to earn those or else they're going to complain, and then they got to fix those things, and then starts this whole like rolling thing. So hopefully they'll fix this.
So the deep sight one was because people were completing the deep sight, leaving the zone, going back into the zone. So it was like they were farming the deep sight chest for the rank up from Finch. because it's like 200 XP for the tier 3s. So it was broken. Like people were doing the same thing in Neomuna too.
Hmm.
And instead of, so they fixed it, but by fixing it, it also kind of broke it for anybody trying to get the title,
Gotcha.
which is really annoying.
Well, did we ever answer this questions for the show from Give It a Name?
I don't think so.
I think we did. Okay, let's go through this. Sin, I am a new listener to the podcast. I'm new to the Discord too, and to the clan I got accepted in. Anyway, my question is, what was your first exotic you dropped in D1 or D2? And secondly, if you could bring one exotic weapon back or armor from D1, what would it be? Keep up the great work.
I
So
refuse
first
to
exotic-
answer this question.
I know, but he said D2 also. But like, Sin, do you remember first exotic in D1 and D2? However you want to answer that, or anything you'd want back?
Don't remember either, but I do remember after playing D1 coming to D2, like I came at the time where Sleeper came out, right? And fortunately Sleeper's in Destiny 2 now. Wasn't originally, but it is now.
Yeah.
I can't remember any other exotics that was really tied to.
Yeah, just for me to answer real quick, I certainly can't remember my first exotic in D1. Now, in D2, I actually remember because it was part of the original quest. There was the 3 exotics you could pick. It was like a guaranteed drop once you did the quest, and I picked Sunshot. Remember? That was one of the first exotics available.
Where was this question?
First exotic you got in a D2. It's at the podcast questions for the show.
Gotcha.
So Sunshot was my first exotic in D2, and I've loved it ever since. Kato Rodimus, you remember your first exotic?
I want to say
That memorable.
I want to say the first exotic I had, or I ended up getting, I ended up having to buy from Zur,
Oh yeah,
was
that
Trinity
wasn't
Ghoul.
a thing at the beginning of D2, right?
No, but I didn't start playing till Rivals. So
I know you didn't, but I was more asking Sin. Sorry. Huh.
which, I mean, still really enjoy Trinity Ghoul, but it's kind of on the wayside. Now, I don't know, like the exotic quest exotics that I've had to go through and earn and get. I think one of the best ones to go get was probably Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
As far as like having a storyline in a quest to go get, not just to go here, kill these things until they drop this thing, bring it back to me.
Yeah. I know. I always love when the quests are more interesting. Like Deathbringer, is that the one? No one really uses that had a cool quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deathbringer. So Lumina, Thorn, Malfeasance,
Of course, Divinity,
Ace. Not so much of a quest though.
Yeah.
Story.
Other than the puzzles. Yeah, yeah.
The Lament. That had a story
Lament
that
was
went with it.
Yep.
Yeah. Some of the other ones, like was it Jotun, the Monarch, Izanagi's Burden? Those all had a quest to them. With the Forges. Again, I'm sure some of them that came out as seasonal releases, they had kind of a quest, but then some of them don't. Like to get Traveler's Chosen, it's kind of Ruinous Effigy. Quest to get that. You remember that one? We had to go all over the different planets and find the Eyes of Savathun.
Oh yeah. Barely.
Yeah, see? Not that memorable.
So Destiny 1, if we go back to that real quick, one thing I never did were the sword quests. And I know those were like the bane of people's existence. They were long and drawn out.
Well,
I actually wouldn't mind if they brought something similar to that to Destiny 2.
Okay, the beginning part was annoying, but at the end you went into a strike, the Dark Blade strike, which I wish they could bring back instead of Light Blade's pretty good, but Dark Blade is so awesome. And what you had to do is, depending on what sword you were going for, Void, Solar, or Arc, in that last room scene, where it was really dark, where the boss was just running around, there was like an extra shielded knight or something, Void, Solar, or Arc. And if you were with a random group, it was chaos because whichever one got killed first counted. So you would want to go in with the fire team. So if you were trying for the Void Sword and the other blueberries were trying for like Arc, and the Arc one got killed first, it wouldn't count for you. You'd have to run the strike again. Or you just go in with a fire team, But I kind of thought that was a little bit fun because it was kind of chaos. But
it does sound kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, the strike was fun-ish anyways. There's so many good strikes I wish we could have. I don't know, but
So you're saying you want Destiny Online or Destiny Universe, an all-encompassing game?
I mean, first of all, I think the name's cheesy, but as far as more content, I always want more content, even if it's content that's already come out. So if it's easier bringing stuff back that's new to a lot of people and revamped for me, that's better than nothing. If it's new content, that's even better. And this actually goes into a perfect segue. I had one last question for the show. I'm curious what y'all think. Would it be a good idea to have Destiny 3 or whatever we call it come sooner rather than later?
100%.
Rodimus?
Possibly. I mean, I guess it truly depends on how much longer you want the game to keep going. I think if you bring everything back from like D1 for the people who have not played D1 and play the storylines and stuff like that, it might be cool. And I think it would be like kind of a retro feeling, like back in the day type thing. I remember doing this stuff. But it's hard to say. It's when you get the live service games, you got to get creative to keep the player base going. And right now, Destiny's trying its best to get its players back because they've kind of lost their trust in them. So
I know, and that's why I feel like ultimately that's really all they can do is come out with a new game at some point soonish. Now that would mean probably no earlier than a year and a half down the road, but it would be nice. But I like the middle ground approach that you say also, while we are still in Destiny 2, all they've committed to so far is the 3 episodes after, and they haven't committed to another DLC yet. Doesn't mean there's not going to be one, but they haven't officially told us anything yet. So maybe we have I only want a year after Final Shape, and then give us some plan. Like, don't tell us yet, of course, but after Final Shape, they're like, and good news, a year from now, Destiny 3 is coming out. That would be best case scenario for me. But if not, and even in the meantime, if it's coming a year after that, bring back more D1 stuff. Why not? Because there's still another raid, right?
Yes.
And even if not that, you can bring back some more strikes. There's so many good strikes in D1 that they haven't ported over yet. Better ones than the Cosmodrome one they brought back, the Shank one. That one was okay, but like if they brought ones like Dark Blade or some of the other Vex strikes from Venus, that'd be way cool.
I mean, I would probably like you said, a year of Final Shape, give us our 3 episodes, and then make an announcement of some kind. Either there's nothing coming or there's something. But I think they really need to do something, because you can't just keep adding and adding to this game.
Yeah, please tell us something at least a year after Final Shape. That's going to be worst case scenario. Don't just like have Final Shape 3 episodes, then the next year say, okay, we'll have a DLC-ish and then 3 more episodes. I mean, that's maybe going to be good, but then for a lot of us, we might only come back a couple times a year, like even less than before. Who knows? Yeah. I would love a new game.
Did you ever hear the like theory that Beyond Light was supposed to be the next game? It wasn't supposed to be an expansion.
I heard that. It seems a little implausible, but it's certainly something that could have happened, I guess, if they were still with Activision.
Right. I think this was something that was like in the realm, and then there was enough changes made that it was no longer a possibility. But I definitely feel like something needs to change because the game itself is so limited right now.
Well, that too. There was all this. Okay, yeah, because also previous gen stuff, and we need a new game with like truly a new engine. I know we've joked about that before, and stuff that only works on current gen stuff, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. When they would have told us by now, obviously, Final Shape and at least the 3 episodes after it are still being supported on PS4, Xbox, whatever, you know.
Well, what if they do make that announcement at, say, you know, we get our first episode and then the second episode, they make that announcement that going forward after the 3rd episode, it will no longer be supported. And that's when they release the new game.
Yeah. Please. I'm down.
Was that a Bungie please for you?
That's a Bungie please.
I definitely feel like
at some point they're going to have to get rid of the old consoles. Just technology is going forward because I think that's hindering them a little bit too. So
definitely.
I think it's more than hindering a little bit.
I would like something that just looks totally different. Like it could still have the Destiny feel to it, like the gunplay feel, but like the menu should be totally different. Like the way guns act could be different. Just not these limitations that we have with the current system. Just blow our mind. Like, oh, we never imagined we could be like doing this with a gun and swapping it on the fly. Kind of like, you know, we talking about like, oh yeah, we're getting more of the vault in orbit and blah, 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 all this stuff. But like, just take it to that level where like going into like all the guns we have are just immediately available just on our slots. We can do a quick drop down and then
damn it, Sin.
We can do drop down and then pick the frame and then we can pick the gun. You know what I mean? Like really easily in any of our slots as long as we've earned it. Just all the stuff that'll blow our mind and better visuals, of course, for newer gen systems. And what's more is new locations. I mean, I know this is a lot of work, but at some point it needs to be done.
And see, I don't even necessarily want new locations. If they make a whole 3rd game and they do go the just whole online route, just give us all the content.
That would be a good at least do that.
Yeah.
And then of course have something new, maybe not all new, but like all the content plus here's a new planet, one new planet or whatever, you know. And then continuously add some new stuff from time to time. I could see it being a thing. Like really, they could have this Destiny 3, Destiny Online, and have old and current stuff, sure. Nope. It's not like I would ever say no to that. And then some new stuff that they add in on a new engine, new hardware. They've changed enough of the menus and things where it just feels so awesome, so good, but still has the basic feel. And if they can commit to like at least something big every year-ish, which by the way, I guess one of the news things that came out is Sony's a little bit mad that Bungie's been slipping on releases. Who knows what that exactly means, but if it'll really change anything, but
I don't know.
We gotta have something. I mean, that can be bad, right? Then you get back to the Overlords things where like Activision was like making people work too much just to hit deadlines. But I guess Sony thinks that Bungie's been going too much the other way. There's been too much. Everyone can admit this a little bit. I mean, I know Gators talked about it a lot on Guardian Downcast where Bungie had like definitely more employees than they needed to. That's what kind of made me mad too. Is like people hire too much; they don't think long term, and then I get really mad when they let people go. It'd been better if they didn't hire too many people in the first place. Anyways, but they have like some pretty crazy fringe benefits. Like, what do they have? Like painting class? I don't know if exactly that, but he was giving examples of things that they heard like crazy fringe benefits and stuff that kind of were maybe a little excessive, and they were a little bit like too relaxed. Maybe they could have tightened up ship a little bit. Who knows?
I think it's the people, corporations are changing just in general, not just like gaming, but overall in the corporate world with coming out of post-COVID and people still working from
Yeah.
home and they spend all this money on their headquarters, but are they truly using all of it? So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it was big aspirations that fell through, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit. I mean, I would definitely be down for new content, no matter how it comes, or at least repurposed content that I haven't played in a while. And
Right.
it is what it is.
I'm perfectly fine with some repurposed content as somebody who didn't play D1. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like when they've moved raids from D1 to D2, it's been great.
It's been great, and they haven't even moved the best one. So if they were to move Wrath, I promise you would like that one too. Because
Right.
like, if you're even okay with like Vault of Glass or Crota, I mean, Wrath is way better than that. Now, Kingsfall was always pretty good.
Well, I mean, it's all about how often you run it too. Like,
Yeah.
I've kind of just stepped away from raiding as much. I don't know. Like, we're still doing our weekly, still hopping into them here and there, but not as often as I was. Just
Yeah, it's okay. It goes through ebbs and flows, right?
I jumped into a Vault of Glass last weekend, I think it was. I don't honestly remember. And it was actually a lot of fun. Like, it'd been months since I'd ran it last. So it was pretty nice to be able to like, oh, this is something I haven't done. And it's changed. Not necessarily the raid hasn't changed, but how we do the raid, like for damage now, is slightly different from the way we used to do it when we were running it.
Yeah. Oh, we have a comment in the chat. Those were so good, Sin from Bell. What was he talking about? Oh, the sword quest, maybe?
Oh,
Sin,
yeah.
do you think? Yeah. Okay. Hello there, Bell.
He's in our second prophecy run.
Well, I guess I'll let you guys at it then, unless there's anything else we want to talk about this evening.
Now, I was letting you guys go to town on that whole
Plenty to talk
employee and letting people go thing. It is kind of ridiculous because I went through that same exact thing in the mortgage business when I came away from the car business, right? And the mortgage company I went for, they hired a bunch of people on because it was going good, and then that December, the business started going the other way, and they started letting a bunch of people go.
Yep.
Kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous, not gonna lie.
It's one reason why. I mean, you see that a lot in sales because it's either feast or famine. But so it's very tempting and almost impossible not to hire people when it's going well. But for my own business, and people have kind of laughed at me like, why don't you can't grow unless you hire people? But I've always grown a little bit year after year, just keeping it myself because I'll raise prices or whatever. But like, I've never wanted to hire someone because I don't feel like I'm at a point where it'd be worth it, and I don't want to hire someone and then have to 6 months to a year later be like, yeah, this isn't working. So I'd rather not present a false opportunity out there.
I mean, that makes sense, and that's a good way to look at it. I know even in the industry I'm in, it's very they're looking to grow, but we're struggling to find not necessarily qualified people, but skilled individuals. But the problem is just the market right now. Like, there's quite a few places that are hiring, but what they're paying isn't meeting the living expenses. So it's not worth people switching jobs or taking something different.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's definitely the market is the pay does not increase with the inflation of everything else.
Right.
So it's not livable. Like
No.
like rent is like $1,200. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's the house payment.
Not my area, but
Well, the point still stands though in a
yeah, I
lot of
get what you're saying.
areas.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, 1,200 is pretty good.
Well, yeah. But the
Yeah.
point is rent shouldn't be $1,200. Like,
yeah, at least in some areas it should be. Oh man.
I mean, this has been 7 years ago. I was going through a housing program when I was working out of Boulder, so staying in an apartment and going through this. It was corporate housing essentially, and it's like $1,800 a month. I mean, granted, part of that was because it was a fully furnished, fully equipped, because it was corporate housing. But still, it was.
But even
an
like a
apartment.
1-bedroom apartment is like $1,000, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that seems a little high for one bedroom, I suppose. We were kind of having this similar discussion too with some people recently. I've forgotten how much like Utah cost of living has increased over the years. It used to be a cheaper place to live, and we are closest to like California and all that, and we get a lot of people moving from California, so we've just kind of come closer to those prices. Not anywhere near that, but we're way closer to California prices than like Midwest prices or whatever. And so someone was mentioning like even compared to like Texas or other places how Utah was expensive. I'm like, really? But then yeah, I guess we are kind of on the little bit higher end in Utah. Now we have a very good economy, and I know there's still a lot of people that can't meet a living wage, but I do feel like if you have the skills for certain jobs, there is a lot of potential to meet that living wage in Utah because
I think that's anywhere.
taxes aren't super high, and a lot of businesses promote like or growth in Utah or moving to Utah and stuff like that. But like Adobe and all these companies have been moving here recently. But then that's probably what's actually increasing the cost of living too, actually.
Yeah.
That is so interesting, yeah.
Fortunate, really.
Yeah. Oh, and one other thing. Movies. Dune 2, see it. I'll just use the word right now, but it's fucking amazing.
I still need to see the first one.
I was going to say the same
Yes.
thing.
See the first one, get it however you need. It's also on Max if you have a subscription to that, or you need to share someone's login or get it through other means. But it is well worth seeing. The first one's really good too. And the second one's even better. It's like Empire Strikes Back, where it's not often the second movie.
It's better than the first.
Better. This one has like a 98% approval rating. It is amazing. I haven't seen like the epic battle scenes at the end, battle like fights and everything. Haven't quite seen something like this in a while. But just everything about the movie. And it's really gotten me more interested. I'm going back and watching the old movie now, doing all this research on what the third movie is going to be like coming out. Which, by the way, yeah, because this doesn't end it by any means. There's still going to be at least one more.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but it is really, really, really good. Did a good job.
Jealous. I want to see it.
Just barely came out. It'll be around for a while.
No.
And then even if you don't see in the theaters, which you should, I admit, but it's not like don't feel bad if you don't get to. And then it'll be on the streaming service pretty quickly through Max, or if you get it through some other means.
I definitely
Might have to watch it. I was actually thinking about getting a Max subscription the other day.
There you go. I think Max is worth it. I'm even if Max is always at the top of my list, even if I cancel other ones temporarily. But so many good of the old HBO shows are in there, of course. But even you get all the Warner Brothers stuff. And so this is a Warner Brothers produced movie. So there you go.
Very nice. I was grandfathered in with AT&T and getting Max that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And then
Finished Wonka. That was pretty
yes, I
good.
was gonna. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. So
Different type of storytelling from what you're used to with like a Wonka movie.
now, remind me, is it a prequel or a after, or is it the main story from the old movie?
I don't think it's either.
Okay.
It's he's like an orphan.
Hmm.
That is he was out in like the Oompa Loompas chasing him. It's not like they're working together. The other ones, Oompa Loompa is like a bounty hunter.
What the?
Yeah, it was a
Interesting.
little weird, but it was fun. So
It sounds like a prequel then. If it like it's when he's younger, right? It's the main dude, like younger.
yeah, he's a younger guy. He's definitely
Huh.
there's some singing and stuff in it, and
Did he have his whole chocolate factory?
no,
Oh, so it sounds like a
It
prequel
is a
then.
prequel.
Yeah, or it's a different universe one, but yeah.
I think it's a different universe one. I don't think it's a prequel, but
But it's good. So this also has Timothy Chalamet or whatever his name is,
sure.
What?
which he's also in Dune. Timothy Chalamet or whatever.
No, it was definitely good. I liked it. It was definitely a very interesting take on the character.
Hmm.
So my daughter absolutely loves it. So
And where did you see it? Is it on a
I
service?
saw it on I have it on a streaming service.
No worries. I was just wondering. Yeah, no, I'll check that out and get that because I have been interested in that one. Cool.
I know quite a
Now
few
you
people that have watched it, but I've just haven't had interest in it.
Now you say you have it on a streaming service. Does that mean you bought it?
It means move the conversation on, Sin.
That's exactly what that means.
Fine.
I'm kind of excited for the new Ghostbusters movie. It's coming out soon.
Oh
so-
yeah, they had that trailer in front of Dune
Goes,
too.
what?
Yeah, what's it
Yeah, there's a new
called?
Ghostbuster movie coming out.
Yeah, I'd seen the trailer for it, but I don't remember what it's called.
Frozen
It looks
Empire.
good. I like the last one.
Yeah, I like the last one. And this has the same. This picks up from there. It's the same cast, kind of.
Oh, that's cool.
Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's cool they're doing like a reboot, but it's not really a reboot at the same time.
Yeah, because it has Dan
It's
Aykroyd.
damage control from the other crappy ones that they tried to pull off.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but I think I did watch the newest one. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not
yeah, I liked it.
a huge fan of like
Well, the kids are a little insane. I mean, I get they're trying to go for like get the younger people in to watch the movie, but like when the original Ghostbusters came out, they didn't have kids as the main cast for that, right? Weren't they like adults?
they didn't really have child actors then either.
Yeah.
And it was more of I would think it's kind of more of just a money grab. So there was some big names there.
Look, it's fine. I'm not. It's just
Speaking of movie, I watched The Great White Hype the other day having lunch at work. That was all those guys in there. They're so young.
the
Mm.
great
The
white.
Wayans brothers. They had Samuel L. Jackson in there.
Oh,
They were all young. Jeff
Hmm.
Goldblum.
I haven't seen that.
that is an old one.
Yeah.
We were watching at lunch at work the other day.
Wish I could watch movies at work.
Well, we have a TV in the lunchroom, so and we ran the antenna up to the roof, so you get the basic digital channels.
Nice.
Not like it's on cable or anything. So
All right. Well, good movies too, and good stuff to watch. Oh, I'm excited. There's more about. I mean, I think I mentioned this already, but just the next Tron movie is officially now. Tron Ares.
What is that one about?
It's going to come out. Well, we don't really know this. We know a little bit, but yeah, actually, It's going to come out in 2025, but we don't know when yet. And they had a first look just the other day. So in the past, they've had like the different colored, glows on them, depending on if it was kind of like it kind of represented the good guys versus the bad guys. But this one, there's a new glow. There's a red glow person. And supposedly, yes, okay. Just all we know so far, and Jared Leto's the main person. He is Ares, a protagonist and computer program that was sent from the digital world to the real world. Ares is sent on a mission to introduce artificial intelligence to humans, a plot that appears almost too real in this day and age. It's a follow-up to the 1982 Tron and the 2020 sequel. So with Ares, the film is set up to be spent more time in the real world. That I'm a little concerned about because I love all the stuff in the Tron world.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a cool picture. I'll put this in the chat of this is all they've teased so far. They don't have a trailer or anything yet, but just this little teaser image. And it looks cool. I'm sure they can kind of have some in the real world and some in the computerized world, or maybe like in the real world and like little, things happen, artificial intelligence that are kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good.
Yeah, you can see in the chat kind of like that red style character.
It's interesting.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining tonight. We'll probably call it there. Yep. Always a pleasure, Rodimus, Kato. Rodimus, tell us what you're up to.
The deets.
Yeah.
You can listen every week. Space Mafia guys and have started a podcast called Dudes Playing Stuff. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon. Just bullshit, like talk around the table about games we play or anything that's going on in the world around us with our group of friends or community. So
excellent.
You get a top 10 list every week that may or may not upset people.
Still
It's
upset
so
about
funny.
the sandwich one.
It's so funny. I mean, I think it's great. It's fun to have the discussion, but I feel like so many people are still confused, like, who made these top 10 lists? And I thought you were always very clear. People can vote. It's not like it's just a single person made it. So you kind of have to blame the people that are voting, right?
They're ever flowing.
They're
It's
overflowing,
changing.
yeah.
Yep.
So if you don't agree with it, then put your vote in, people. But
Makes
no,
I
me
won't tell them where I
concerned.
get them from. So
Oh, okay.
there's multiple websites out there with multiple lists, but I'm not telling you where I'm getting them from.
That's awesome.
So
Lame.
Kato,
So
when you're in
rigged.
the Discord and playing Destiny when you play it.
Yeah. I'm waiting patiently. Yeah. Dragon's Dogma 2 comes out March 22nd, so I'm patiently waiting for that.
And we
Nice.
won't see Kato in Destiny for 3 months.
sounds like great.
Probably. I mean,
Maybe.
maybe.
I mean, we haven't
Could
seen
be.
Sin in Destiny for 3 months.
I'm in it right now. It's once a week. I'm a
mean,
once a week kind of guy.
Even then, I have a hard time signing in once a week.
Well,
I mean, I jump in at least once a week.
yeah.
I'll check out
nothing
the
wrong with
store
it.
and what ammo or what armor's around.
Yeah,
Yep.
nothing wrong with that. Sin, take your once a week self and close us out here.
Why do I feel like you're trying to be me right there? Discord, X, the sky. That is all.
That is all.
Kingsley, Tron Macklemore.
I'm a twice a week type of guy.
The twice a week kind of guy.
Tuesdays
Take
and
it out.
Saturdays.
Yes,
And right now,
Tuesdays and
Sundays.
Saturdays. You don't know what that means, but it can mean gaming, it can mean something else. Yeah, you can find me as Kingsley Mac all the places, and please check out our Discord. Please check out our website. You get all of the other information about us, and we'll just close it at that. But our website is theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Thank you, Sin, and thank you, Kato, and thank you, Rodimus.
But did you get your Dune bucket?
Dune buggy?
Hey, I
Oh,
guess
for
the
the
AMC
movies.
has the movie limited edition popcorn bucket.
No, actually, and I found out about that after the fact, but the main reason why I didn't even know about it is it was like this, it was a special event. It was a corporate. I got like one VIP screeners through a bank, and they had like food for us somewhere else, like
Gotcha.
pre-made popcorn in these boxes. It weren't in Dune buckets, but we had tons of other stuff, so I had no reason to go to the regular concession stand.
Well,
So not complaining there because I got lots of good goodies there, but yeah, I did hear those buckets are a thing.
Boom.
So everyone, let us know if you get your Dune bucket. Give us a picture, and we really appreciate everyone tuning in again. And we will catch you all next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Later.
see you later.
I want to look up a picture of this Dune bucket.
Is the bucket worth it?
Well,
It looks weird. Look it up.
oh my gosh, that looks like something you would stick something in.